your desktop is giving me a panic attack right now.
It's all good.
Okay, so we are recording, and I think you can just let it keep recording, and we'll trim, the beginning off.
Got it.
So now if you want to pass the presenter role back to Mackenzie.
Yeah, it's on. It's waiting for her.
Okay, great.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes. And I'm trying to remember now that I don't have it right in front of me. Michelle, I think if you're still the host, you are still the one who, when it's time, will unlock the meeting.
Okay.
So can you look in the upper left-hand corner where it says Join Me / you find meetings? Be a drop-down and then an option to unlock.
Do you know who Robert Bain is? Is he supposed to be on right now, or is he just early? He's trying to get on.
He's early.
Yeah, so just keep rejecting people who are trying to get on
Okay.
early.
Got it.
Until we unlock the meeting.
I don't have an option to unlock.
Okay, then sorry, Michelle. Mackenzie, do you mind?
So you want me to just deny it?
Sorry, I'm trying to remember if
I figured it out. I got it.
Oh, you found it? Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
don't unlock the meeting, just yet. Oh,
right.
Robert Bain is in here. So Robert, we're gonna have to kick you out because we're not quite ready to start yet. But we will start in just about 15 minutes. So if you don't mind coming back then. So Michelle, can you lock the meeting again?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have 2 more guests in the room right now. Okay, so Judy, do you want to introduce things, say a couple words, and then Mackenzie can take it from there?
Sure.
Okay.
So should we do it the same way we did it last couple times, where like 1 minute after for us it's noon, for you it's 3, about 3:01. I'll just say, hey everybody, welcome to.
Yeah.
And what's the webinar after this? Do we have one?
I don't know. We haven't picked a topic yet.
Do you have one?
I can think of one. We could do. We could do one more focused on workflows if you wanted, and then we're launching a new product. So I don't know if you want us to go over that. That could be a possibility.
What's the new product?
It's called 17 Hats Ally, and basically it will have functionalities of 17 Hats, but the individual using it won't have to do anything. So they'll actually have their own account manager, client manager, and bookkeeper, and they'll be in our Pasadena office. So we're doing all the interviews for them. They'll actually have a whole team behind their the business. So for people that travel a lot or have their business is just growing at a rapid rate and they don't have time to do all of those things, you'll literally have someone answering your phone, responding to emails, doing your bookkeeping. They'll learn your business in and out so that it looks like you have basically an entire team behind you.
I think that sounds incredible.
Right? Yeah.
I think it would be better though too to also maybe just keep focus on the task, because maybe not everybody needs that. That would be a very select few, I think.
Right.
especially in terms of photojournalism. So if we can
true.
keep it kind of focused on like the more kind of
The
critical
custom
business.
workflows.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We could. I mean, workflows people tend to have the most difficulty getting set up on their own. So maybe we could do several different examples on how to do that and why it's important just for time management.
Yeah, workflow is really important. And we haven't done one on that yet, have we?
We haven't. The last one was kind of an overview. This one is an overview, but more focused on the bookkeeping portion. And Jessica's going to join me shortly too. She was our presenter last time.
Okay.
So maybe we just need to be the next topic will be to be determined, or like I'm not sure what. Usually I say that after this, so after the intro.
I mean, we could do, something like that, or on like time management, just how, workflows basically save you a ton of time. I'm trying to think
time management would be really good, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, workflow and time management.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds great.
I like it. Okay.
And what's the title for this one, Mackenzie? What do you think how should I refer to this one?
Maybe just best practices for bookkeeping.
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
And then will I hand it over to Mackenzie directly, or will Michelle be saying anything, Andrea?
Michelle, would you like to say anything?
If there's anything I should say. I don't have anything to say, I don't think.
Okay. Yeah, so then I guess Judy, you can just hand it over to Mackenzie directly.
Okay, great.
Okay, I'm just posting in the event on Facebook to remind folks. Again.
So I think I'm going to put all the corporate stuff into Libris, Andrea. I think that keeps things really.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
And it makes sense to keep all of the publishing stuff sort of
on
separated.
Webdam. Yeah. Cool.
Okay. So at this point, I would recommend that we unlock the room, but just remember that as soon as the room is unlocked, people will be able to hear us, even though we won't be able to hear them. So then if we just all mute ourselves, and then
somebody definitely should
2:01.
welcome people. And hello?
Yep.
Hey, it's good then, right, for someone to just welcome people and say, hey, we're going to get started in 10 minutes or whatever. I guess that would be you now, Michelle, okay? And you can always introduce yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Sounds good. I'll introduce myself.
So people know who you are. Cool. Then I'll get going at a minute after.
All right.
Sounds good.
Final words, unlocking the meeting. Hi there, anyone who's just joined. I'm Michelle. I'm a writer for ViewFund, and welcome to our webinar. And we'll get started in a little less than 10 minutes, so hold tight.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for being here. We're going to get started in just about 3 minutes.
Hey there, everybody. It's Judy Walgren. I'm the editorial director at viewfind.com. And I want to welcome you all to another collaborative webinar between Viewfind and 17 Hats, this one being on best practices for bookkeeping. I also want to let you know that our one next month will be on time management in your workflow, again with 17 Hats. We're really enjoying this collaboration, and I know that I'm learning a lot about how to keep my business running efficiently, and hope you are too. And we're always looking for topics that you all would be interested in learning more about. You can email me directly at jwalgren, so that's JWALGREN at viewfind.com. Again, thanks for the support, and hope you have a great time. Mackenzie?
Hi guys, this is Mackenzie and Jessica from 17 Hats. Thank you for joining us. As she mentioned, we're going to be going over bookkeeping and then a little bit on the software itself. So if you have any questions or you've been on one of these before, let us know. Jessica's going to go through it, and then we'll do questions at the end. Also, we are offering you guys a 20% discount. So if you go on to 17hats.com, just type in Viewfind, all one word in lowercase, and you can still get that discount. So we're excited to have you here. A little bit of background on 17 Hats. Basically, we were a software created by our CEO, Donovan Janus. He and his wife was a teacher for a long time and then went into her passion of being a photographer, and something happened that she didn't expect. She actually was extremely successful, and with that came a lot more clients, which, as you know, is hard to manage. So she was struggling keeping up with all of the back-end things like the invoices, bookkeeping, calendars, putting everything in one spot. So our CEO created the software for her, and basically, just lets you spend more time doing what you love and not the back end side of it. So we will go ahead and get started, and yes, Jessica will be presenting on bookkeeping.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Hi, guys. I'm Jessica. So to start, thank you so much for joining us today. 17 Hats has its own cash-based bookkeeping system that integrates with invoices, as well as being able to connect to your bank accounts online and sync your data into 17 Hats.
We currently integrate with over 20,000 banking institutions around the world, which should cover most banks. You can connect as many accounts as you'd like, and once connected, they should automatically update on a regular basis. This includes your checking accounts, saving accounts, and any credit card accounts that you'd like to add. You can also create manual accounts. Say you want to keep track of your cash receipts, and you can manually record all of those transactions. So let's get into the bookkeeping tool here. Now, if you connect with one of our 3 payment methods of Stripe, PayPal, or Authorize.net, your customers can pay your 17 Hats invoices online. Both Stripe and PayPal offer competitive rates and allow your customers to pay. Stripe will automatically transfer the payment into the bank you choose, and with PayPal, you can transfer the money into the bank account of your choice. You can also manually make a payment toward an invoice and dedicate which account the payment should go into. We offer an integration with QuickBooks Online. Any contacts, invoices, and payments automatically transfer over to your QuickBooks Online account. If you use QuickBooks Desktop version, you can export your data in an IIS file and then import that. We also offer a number of reports that are available to help you keep up to date on your financial information. And when you import your transactions or connected bank feed into bookkeeping, 17 Hats automatically suggests categories for bank transactions. Initial suggestions depend on your banking institution. However, as you manually categorize your transactions, 17 Hats will learn and remember your selections so that it automatically is suggested next time. So let's start with adding a bank account. This is a really easy process. So if you're just beginning with 17 Hats, you can click into the bookkeeping tab, as we did earlier, and then click on those, and then click on the cog and select Connect Accounts or Connect to Bank. Now we can see our bank right here. This will bring you to the bank selection screen, and you can click on one of the tiles. If you have a larger bank or if your bank doesn't appear, you can just go down to the search box right here, and you can type in the name of the bank you want to connect to. It's important to remember that some banks may not show all accounts or account types. Sometimes you have to search on different variations of the name or account to find your correct account type. This is important for accounts from larger banks who offer a number of branded products, for instance. So if you type, Chase Credit, you'll see a large list of Chase branded credit cards. No, you won't log in. When you find the correct bank, click on the account name and the login screen will appear. You will then add in your online login information, and in most cases, your account username and the password for the account. Please note that we don't store your account name or password. That's kept with our banking partners. If your bank requires additional information or answers to challenge questions, that will show here as well. Sometimes it's on a subsequent screen. After you enter that information into the system, the system will verify with our banking partner and begin downloading your transactions. It looks like we have her old password, so I'm going to click out of that. After you enter that, something to keep in mind is that most banks will only download the last 90 days of transactions. If you want to download older transactions, you can easily import them, but we'll get to that in a minute. The accounts that we're looking at today show transactions that have been around for a bit of time. Your transactions will show the last 90 days of transactions. If you have more than one bank account added to 17 Hats, all transactions are grouped together. If you want to see transactions from one account at a time, just go to the account drop-down list, click on the account you want to see, and then hit the search button on the far right. And this will show transactions from the account you selected. You'll notice other boxes on this line. You can select the category if you'd like, click on search, or only see that category from the account you've chosen. You can also filter this further by selecting just expenses or income. I'll show you that right there. Income and the date ranges and keywords for the transactions. If you wanted to see a range of your transactions, you can easily just set a date right over here, type in keywords, very easy. Just make your selections and click on search. Please note that if you ever want to manually refresh a bank account, select the bank account, then click on search. The option to refresh that account then becomes available. If you manually refresh an account, you can only do one account at a time. So let me show you what we'll do. I'll hit refresh. This is just taking a minute. Hold on one second. There we go. Great. So when your transactions are downloaded, 17Hacks will automatically suggest categories for transactions it recognizes. And you can accept these or you can make changes to these. If you want to categorize a number of transactions at the same time, please check off the transaction you want to categorize. So let's say these two. And then select the category at the top of the screen you want to use, and then click on it, and all of the selected transactions will be categorized and verified. Notice once we've selected, we're changed to all sales. So we're going to do, here we go. Speaking of categories, you can always add additional ones as needed. If you're already in bookkeeping, you can click on the small cog up on the right and choose Manage Categories. This will bring you to the bookkeeping options screen. You can also get to the screen from other parts of 17Hacks by just clicking on My Account and going to My Account Settings, and then going to Bookkeeping Options right down here. On this screen, you can see all of your accounts and the status, and underneath there, you'll see a list of categories, grouped into the main categories of income, transfers, cost of goods sold, expense, equity, assets, and liabilities. These are standard IRS categories with a number of common subcategories under each. When you add sales tax records under My Tax Settings, let's go over there. Under My Tax Settings, this will automatically create a category for those tax records under the liability section. You can add additional categories if you wish, although the default category should cover most of your needs. Click on Add Category. Okay. And next to one of the main categories to add a custom line. So maybe you have special transactions that are, coming from a different account, and there isn't, a category that fits that. You can just create your own. And just note that, once you have a category that has been used in a transaction or invoice, you can't delete it, even if you remove the category from the transaction or invoice. If you create a category and you maybe create by accident a couple at the same time, as long as you don't use it, you'll be able to just get rid of it. Until that category has been used, you can, delete it any time. As we go back to the transaction, you'll see the small arrow to the right of each transaction. When you click on that, you'll usually see an option to edit, split, or apply to an invoice if it's an income transaction. You can split this deposit in at least two parts and categorize how you want the transaction to be split. So let's see if we can do that. So, say it was actually, let's get rid of that. That doesn't make sense. Let's do this one. We're going to split this one. If you're going to split transactions, say we'll do it with a deposit right here of $500. If you could split it into two transactions, maybe $250 for sales and $250 for service income. We'll call that sales, and we'll say. And after this is saved and two transactions are created, you can then go back to the individual transactions and apply that payment to different client invoices. Oh. Bear with me, I'm sorry. This is my first time splitting a transaction. There we go. So now that you've saved these, you can go back to the individual transactions and apply that payment to different client invoices. So say you made a deposit at the bank and then want to allocate the payments to different invoices. You can split expense transactions the same way and then select the transaction and apply it to a specific project from the list at the top of the screen. If you do this and assign income to invoices and expenses to the project, these amounts will show in your client's project. So, for example, we'll take this one and we're going to apply to, let's do this guy right over here. Let's click save. So now, if we get a project and we look for David Foster, and right over here, we can see that it was added as a sale. Here. Let's talk about manually importing transactions. This is something you can do if you want to add transactions older than 90 days to your 17 Apps account, or if your bank is not available for online syncing, or the account won't connect for automatic syncing. Because most banks will only provide the last 90 days of transactions online, you'd have to go to your bank site and export the older transactions to either a QBO or an OSX format file. So now that we're in the bookkeeping section, let's click on the small cog on the right and click on Import Transactions. This ballot will ask you for the account you want to import into and allow you to choose the file to import. So I'm going to say, let's do basic business check. Oops. Get rid of that. Unfortunately, the webinar software wouldn't let me see the pop-up, so we're going to skip over that. Please double check the dates of the transactions you're downloading. Make sure that there's no duplicates of the transactions you've already loaded. At this point, 17Apps doesn't check for duplicate transactions. So you can export transactions from PayPal in IIS format and import those into your 17Apps account the same way. So if you have older bank accounts that you don't use anymore, but you still want to have those on your books, you can always just import those manually. If you use QuickBooks Online, you can turn on the integration within 17Apps by going to My Accounts, Account Settings, and Integration. And then we can click Connect to QBO. You can't see this because of the webinar software, but we have another pop-up, and this is where you'd enter in your QuickBooks Online login and password, and then that way 17Apps can connect straight to your QBO account. The first time you do this, the system will ask you to select which invoices you want to send over to QBO. When you select the ones you want, or all, it will export the contact, the invoice, and any payments over to QBO. And going forward from here, it will send any new invoices over to QBO as soon as they're created, and then send over any payments to those invoices as soon as the payment is made. Generally speaking, when you elect to integrate with QBO, you are deciding to do your bookkeeping through QBO and not use 17Apps. People do this for various reasons. Either they're already using QuickBooks and are familiar with it, or they have a need for the additional features offered by QuickBooks. 95% of 17Apps users choose to use the internal bookkeeping system because it covers as much as you need. If you use the desktop version of QuickBooks, you can export the transactions in IIS format by clicking on the small cog on the top right of the bookkeeping screen. Choosing Export Transaction. Select the date range for the export and click on Export. So we're going to say January, just to the end of, we'll just do 1 month. January 16th. And now, I don't know if you can see this on the screen, you should be able to, down right over here, this IFS file just downloaded right over here for us. If you haven't chosen a specific account from the drop-down list ahead of time, the export will include all transactions from all accounts in the export. So you may want to select a specific account before you export them so they can be imported into QuickBooks Desktop into a specific bank account in that program. Now, there's one other thing that's really important. This is about transferring in between accounts. So if you have set up to accept online payments into 17Apps, if you've chosen Stripe, PayPal, or Authorize.net, when a client pays you online for the first time, 17Apps creates an account for that payment. It will be named Stripe. Stripe, PayPal, or Authorize, depending on what the account is. And it will show an accounting with your other bank accounts under all accounts. See right there. Let's say you have Stripe connected for online payments. When a payment is made toward an invoice, it will show in the Stripe account, splitting the payment by whatever categories you've chosen, and categorize the sales tax if the sales tax is involved in the transaction. So if the invoice is for, 105 and $100 is categorized as sales and 5 is for taxes, it would create 2 transactions showing the invoice number on both transactions. It won't show any commission payments that you paid to the vendor. So Stripe in the U.S. usually charges 2.9% and about 30 cents per transaction. If you also have your checking account connected to 17Apps, a few days later, the deposit will come into that account, less any transaction fees. If you left that as it is, it would show the income twice, which is something you don't want to do. So we recommend that you categorize the checking account transactions as transfer between accounts, and then add an expense transaction to the Stripe account, which shows the amount of commission, meaning the difference between the total of the invoice minus the amount showing in the checking account. When you mark the transaction as transfer between accounts, the transaction remains in the system but isn't used for any report so that you won't see any double income. So, for example, you might also be recording cash payments. You might want to have a manual payment that isn't going to show up in any of your accounts. Or maybe you just want to say, hey, I know that this client is sending me this check. I'm going to mark it as paid in the invoices, which you can do manually. I'll navigate over there and it would just go. There we go. So if you are looking at this pending right over here, and say, we wanted to, she gave this to me in cash, so I'm going to record a payment right over here. Now, if you're doing this as a placeholder, saying, that check is in the mail, I'm ready to move on, she's booked, you do want to either go back and delete the manual payments or go back and transfer them or categorize them as transfer between accounts. And then that way you'll avoid double reporting that same income. So now at this time, I want to show you our reports. And at this point, 79th offers 4 different bookkeeping reports. There's profit and loss, sales tax, upcoming receivables, and aged receivables. So profit and loss statement is a report that shows net profits and loss for the business. In 17 Hats, it's calculated from the banking transaction. So typically profit and loss is calculated by using 2 business equations commonly used in accounting. And that's basically, sales minus the cost of goods sold. Goods sold is your gross profit. Gross profit minus your total expenses is your net profit and loss. And net profit and loss is the bottom line number for your business right down here. Now, so we watched me do this. So you just go right over here to click profit and loss to download that report. And you can define your time frame by selecting a start date and an end date when using the calendar, and then click apply. So maybe we want to just say if this is for, the month of June, this is perfect. We'll just apply that there. Or maybe we'll make it a little bit longer. Oh, wait, we haven't gotten to July yet, right? Let's say May. Let's try that. There we go, great. Yeah, please, thank you. Sorry about that. We've got a knock on the door. So you want to define your time frame and then click apply. So you can toggle your transaction listing to show hide, by clicking show transactions. And then this will allow you to see the totals for each category or the detailed transactions for each category. A couple of tips. The body of the report can be copied and pasted into a spreadsheet program so you can perform advanced financial analysis. And then you can also create a PDF of the report by using the print function to create a PDF in Windows or Mac software and just click print fixed PDF, which again, the webinar software is not letting us see the pop-up window. So just imagine that as best you can. So now we're going to go to the sales tax report. You can run a sales tax report on payments that were collected or created through 17 Hats. In your bookkeeping section, just select the sales tax from the reports button. And just note that the only sales tax that was reported through 17 Hats will be shown in this report. That means you need to have an invoice with sales tax. Payments made with a credit card or manual payments will be recorded. If you recorded the sale through other means and do not have an invoice for it in 17 Hats, it won't show on the sales tax report since we don't have the necessary data to show it. The method that you use to collect the payment outside of 17 Hats should have its own sales tax report. So now I want to show you the upcoming receivables report right over here. And this displays a report of accounts with a balance due, between 0 and 30 days, 30 to 60 days, 60 to 90 days, and 90 plus days from the date of the report. There's also the aged receivable. And this displays a report of accounts with overdue balances from 0 to 30 days, 30 to 60 days, 60 to 90, and 90 plus days from the date of the report. Because with all these reports, you can create a PDF of the report by using the print function to create a PDF. And just say that print the PDF, you'll be able to keep it on your computer if you aren't able to get online at any time. Now, last, we want to talk about how to refund an invoice. So if you've gone, we'll go back to the normal bookkeeping tool. If you've been paid online through one of the 3 payment methods, you have to log into the account of that vendor site. So, Stripe, PayPal, or Authorize.net and refund them from there. You would then go to the invoice and apply a negative manual payment to remove that payment from the invoice. So we'll just do an example right over here. And say, let's see, anybody paid? Great. So Georgia Smith, she paid, she's great, but we're going to now record another payment, and we're going to say, I'm giving her a $100 refund. And we'll say check our cash. We'll click apply. Now, if you then go to so now that we've added the manual payment, you'll see that it's removed. We want to remove it from. All right. You just apply the negative amount, and now you see that it's a different kind of invoice. No longer says paid. If you paid through another method like check, cash, bank transfer, and manually added a payment to 17 Hat, you're able to delete that payment on the invoice and then refund the customer the way you want. If you're only issuing a partial refund to the invoice, you would manually add a negative payment as above for an online payment. And I'm going to exit this invoice and just take a look. And okay, we'll go back to that. There we go. And now we're back to paid, now that we're balanced. So those are all of the bookkeeping features in a nutshell. I apologize for any gaps in my presentation. I am not an accountant, so I'm doing the best I can. But if there's any other questions about how the bookkeeping tool works or what you can do with it, we'll be happy to open it up to questions now.
Yeah, I guess in the chat box, is there any questions that you guys have or want to see any of the other features? Michelle, are you still there? Hi.
Yeah. Hey, this is Andrea here. Sorry, I had to find my window to unmute. Thank you so much, guys. That was really fantastic, and I think there are no questions at this time. But for everybody on the line, again, our next topic is going to be about best practices for workflow and time management, and we will be posting about the specific date and time on Facebook and on all the social channels. So thank you guys again.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, again, remember your code is viewfind for anyone that wants to test it. And then we also do have webinars that people can sign up for if they want any additional information on the overview of the program or have more specific questions. So, yeah, just let us know what you need help with. And, yeah, just thanks again for attending.
Wonderful. Thanks. Take care.
All right, you too. Bye.
All right, guys, it's just us.